Oh, thank you, thank you. Okay, I am not Romanian, I am also not called Igor, I am actually from Scotland. But also, okay, quick poll. Who here has heard of Sir Walter Raleigh? Just a quick wave of hands or a clap or something? Isn't essential. Okay, Sir Walter Raleigh, a few hundred years ago, he was basically the favourite of the Queen of England. He would go out exploring and, okay, occasionally set fire to Spanish ships, but he also explored. And he would bring back stuff as a gift for the Queen. And he would present them to the Queen, and the Queen loved this. I mean, he brought back the potato. And, exactly, so you can picture the scene. He arrives at court. My Queen, I have brought you something extraordinary from the New World. I call it the potato. And the Queen is like, oh, Sir Walter, whatever is it? And it's like, well, don't you worry, I have a stove on standby. I'll put it in boiling water after peeling it, about 20 minutes time, with a bit of butter and garlic. Yes, we got garlic from the French. Then you're going to enjoy this fine potato. Yeah, so that's, that sets the scene for Sir Walter Raleigh. Don't worry, we're going to come back to him in a minute. But first, this routine is actually about the origins of smoking, which some of you enjoy, or vaping, but anyway, smoking is the important part. Smoking is an old technology, and it was also introduced by Sir Walter Raleigh, but it has a rather weird origin. You would think, how on earth did people discover smoking? And the answer is much weirder than you could anticipate, because it was discovered in Native America. They discovered somehow that if you took a whole load of tobacco plants and put them in like a boiling thing and boiled it for quite some time, you could concentrate the tobacco plants down into a sort of blob of concentrated tobacco-iness, and, wait for it, they stuffed it up their bottoms. And it contained so much nicotine that basically it would send the recipient onto a vision quest, and he would suddenly be seeing Grandpa and all kinds of other things, like, I can see the gods. And nobody thought, we probably shouldn't have stuffed that up there. No. Instead we thought, he's a genius, let's make him the witch doctor. But still, rolling back a bit, how on earth do you do that by mistake? Or on purpose? I mean, just like our Igor gentleman, I'm a lousy cook. I'm possibly in his league. Point is, and I have made a lot of kitchen messes in my years, but at no point of any of my culinary creations ended up my bottom. I mean, am I just that much of a perfectionist? I don't think so. The point is, I mean, I spent some spare brain time trying to think of how this could have come about. And the best I can come up with is, okay, picture the Indian tribal leader is angry at the cook, and he says to the cook, okay, I've had 17 lousy desserts from you. If I get one more disappointing pudding, I'm going to stuff that pudding right up your bottom. And the cook has gone, well, don't you worry, Chief, I really am confident I've come up with something truly special. I call it tobacco surprise. And sure enough, it was a surprise for the cook. I mean, that's the only, scenario I can envision how you could do that. I mean, but then, okay, back to Sir Walter. I'm now thinking, well, thank goodness, after this whole stuffing it up your bottom shebang, they decided just maybe we should probably roll it up and smoke it, perhaps put it in a pipe, rather than put it up your pipe. And so after all, can you imagine Sir Walter Raleigh turning up at court? It's like, my Queen, I have brought forth the tobacco plant. And the Queen goes, oh, Sir Walter, whatever is it? It's like, don't you worry, I've got a stove right here, I've got 16 tobacco plants. If you could just bend over and remove your bloomers, I think you're going to be quite surprised. I mean, quicker than you can say off with his head, I don't think he'd be living very long, but that's just me. So yes, it's all Sir Walter's fault that you guys are addicted to tobacco. But when I was actually doing some research for this purpose of this routine, I thought to myself, okay, see if I can find a reference to this. And I couldn't actually find that. However, I did find a rather shocking reference that's not the only weird bottom-related tobacco thing. That in the 1800s, then, and this is, like 150 years before CPR was invented, so when someone nearly drowned in the Thames, and the lady's body was pulled out of the Thames, she seemed lifeless, she was cold to the touch, the doctor was panicking, he did not know what to do, and this is a true account. The doctor was like, "Oh my word, I'm so sorry, sir, but we have lost her." And a passing sailor had the suggestion, "Hey buddy, I think you should actually send some tobacco smoke up her bum." And the doctor, rather than going, "Stop drinking rum, you weirdo," said, "That is a good idea, sir. Please stand by. Grab me some bellows and my tobacco pipe." So sure enough, they filled a set of bellows with tobacco smoke, inserted it into the place the lady would not care, and miraculously she was like, "Whoa, I'm alive." And based on this, they actually embraced the technology. Also this was 150 years before life preservers. So instead, dotted along the Thames, you had handy dandy sets of bellows and a coal and some tobacco, so that in case of awful drowning, get the bellows ready. Good, don't worry, we've got her, don't die on me, would be the way to go. Oh my gentle heavens, I'm so glad that medical technology has been debunked. I mean, you've heard the term blowing smoke up somebody's ass. That's where it comes from. It's not because of lies, it's because of a really demented revival procedure. I mean, honestly, just like in the modern day, in America, well, and other countries, they have like DNR tattoos, do not revive. I don't want heroic measures used. And I was already imagining, okay, so in the 1800s, what's the equivalent of a DNR tattoo? Is it a no smoking sign on your ass cheeks? So when it's like, "Don't worry, we're gonna revive him." "Oh, no smoking, sorry." It was meant to be. That is so weird to me. But anyway. Okay, so all this talk of bottoms actually makes sense in some sort of way. Let's fast forward a little bit to the 1990s, where there is a drug that some of you may have heard of called Rohypnol, which has acquired itself a very terrible reputation, also known affectionately as the date rape drug, which is a terrible, terrible business. But it actually has a medical application. Because if you're carrying out a procedure on a person, and they need to be conscious, but it's undignified enough that you probably would prefer them not to remember it afterwards, this is the drug for you. And so, if someone is having a heavy-duty endoscopy, basically, yes, if R2-D2 is going up your bum, then this is the thing they have to do. And the following story is completely true, but of course the name's been changed to protect the innocent. So, my older brother and his friends, who were doctors, they were faced by, there was a very, very classy Edinburgh lady, like full-on, hoity-toity, came on and she had nasty polyps up her bottom. And so, the only resort they had to do was they had to do an endoscopic examination even. There was no explanation. But they explained to her, "Okay, madam, we're going to give you this here drug, and then 30 minutes after it's taken effect, then we're going to begin the procedure." She took this on board, she understood what was going on, she was absolutely on the ball. So, they give her the Rohypnol in an official, not a clubbing environment, and then, sure enough, 30 minutes later, she's all very mellow, she's relaxed, exactly, she's not a bit nervous about this whole business. So then the doctor, he grabs his handy-dandy endoscopic device, and is like, "Madam, we're about to begin the examination, so do not be alarmed." She's like, "Okay, yes, this is quite okay." And he's like, "Okay, and 1, and 2, and 3, and at that point, she suddenly shouts out, Henry, remember our agreement!" And I'm not even sure her husband's name was Henry, or what the agreement was. But of course, an hour later, she had no recollection of this. And so my brother and his friends were just like, "Oh, we want to ask, we have to ask, but we can't." Because, they want to just say, "Who's Henry? And what's the agreement?" I mean, oh my star, is that a good thing or a bad thing for Henry? I can't even tell. Anyway, on that note, you guys have been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Give it up one more time for Andrew Berenbach, our lovely scientist.